In this video, we're going to learn the essentials of KQL in 10 minutes. Hello, I'm Philip Burton of idodata.com, and this video is brought to you by Microsoft's 60 Days of Data and AI. For more information, please go to aka.ms/datadays. The language KQL can be used in multiple places. For example, in KQL event houses and databases, you can query them using KQL. Similarly, in Microsoft Azure, you can use KQL when querying, for example, application insight logs. But how easy is it to learn KQL? And the answer is, it may look very strange, but it's not that difficult. So let's find a free way in which we can create KQL queries, and we can do that using Azure Data Explorer. So I've searched for Azure Data Explorer, and you can see it utilizes KQL Kusto query language, but don't go for the very top item. Instead, go for dataexplorer.azure.com. So you will need to sign in. Now you can set up a cluster for free. So just give it a display name, a database name, and a cluster location. And then check this box and click in Sign in and Create Cluster. So now I will sign in. And here you can see I'm using an existing free cluster. So let's go to my query on the left-hand side. And here we can see my previous query. So I will remove that. Now let's find some data to query. So I'll go into Samples and expand Tables. And here we can see a folder containing ADX conferences tables. So if I expand that, here we can see the final table, conference sessions. And within that, we can see various columns. So I'm going to query the conference sessions table. And I just type in conference sessions. Now the computer has also added a pipe. Usually, you don't want to query the entire table. You want to say, and then I want to do certain things. So I only want certain rows, I only want certain columns. But in this case, I want the entirety of the conference sessions table. So all I need to do is type in the name of the source, and that's it. So now I will press run, and here we can see the entirety of the conference sessions table. Now, quite often with databases, you will have thousands of rows, millions of rows. If you're just exploring a data source for the first time, you probably only want to see the first few rows. So I'm going to press Enter and add in a pipe symbol. So this could be in different places on your keyboard, depending on what sort of keyboard you got. On my keyboard, it's in the bottom left-hand corner, but it might be in the top left-hand corner for your computer. So now I will say limit 10. So the pipe symbol says do this and then do this. So it separates the two sections. So if I run this, here we can see we have got 10 rows. Now we might want to order those rows. So I can say another pipe, again we're separating these sections, and I can say sort. So let's sort by conference and then by session ID. And I'm using the arrow keys to go up and down and then press Tab. So what do you think will happen when I run this? Now, do you see anything strange about these results? Let's change this to limit 100. Notice that conference is being sorted descending. Also notice that initially we had results including FabCon 2025, but then we had results with just Build 2021. So we don't necessarily get the same rows each time if we use limit. We could also use take and sample, by the way. So I could say take 100 or sample 100. But also notice that it is being sorted descending. So with SQL, the default sort is ascending. Here it is descending. So if I want it ascending, then I need to put ASC for ascending. Now let's just get all of the conferences. So I don't want any other columns except conference. Well, I can do that by saying project conference. So now I no longer need to sort by anything else because there are no other columns. So if I run this, now we can see we just have the conference column and nothing else. Now you might be saying, okay, do we need to have this in this order? Do we get the top 100 rows and project conference and then sort? And the answer is no. You can have any of these operations in whatever order. Just bear in mind that the computer will literally do what you say. So now it is just going to give me one column and then take the first 100 rows. So this will give me the same result in this KQL query, but it might not do in other queries. So with SQL, you've got a strict order of how the computer works out the results. Here, you give the strict order. Now suppose I didn't want any duplicates. I just wanted just the individual conferences. Well, instead of saying project, you say distinct. So now if I run this, here we can see all of the conferences without any duplications. Suppose I didn't want to have the column called conference. I wanted it to say conference name. Well, then I can say conference name equals conference, but now you can see I can no longer sort by conference because it no longer exists as a column. So now I need to say sort by conference name. And KQL, incidentally, is case sensitive. So I can't say equals conference with a capital C. It needs to be a lowercase c because that is the name of the column. Now let's go back to project, and I want the conference name and I want the session title. So here you can see I've just got the two columns. Now, let's say I don't want all of the session titles. I just want those session titles which were in Build 2021. Well, then I can say where conference name, two equal signs for equality. I'm testing whether conference name is equal to something, is the same as something. And then in speech marks, Build 2021. And I'm going to reduce this down to take 10. So let's have a look at the results. So now I have got 10 results where the conference name is equal to Build 2021. What happens if I move take 10 to before the where? So let's run this. And I've still got 10 results. However, let's change this to Build 2019. And I've got 0 results. So why is that? It's because we are taking 10 rows and those 10 rows don't happen to include Build 2019. Instead, what I can do is move this ahead of the take 10, so now it has all of the rows, and then it's looking at just those where the conference name is equal to Build 2019, and then getting the top 10 from then. Now, I can have other operators like AND, so AND session title is equal to, for example, this one. So this will give me just the one row. Now notice I've got squiggly underlines. It's because I have just got the one equal sign. I need two equal signs. So here we can see we just get the one row. Now if I go back to Build 2021 and remove this session title, what if I wanted, and I'll go to take 100, what if I wanted all of the session titles which had Azure Data Explorer inside it? I can't use two equal signs because that will match the entirety of the string. Instead, what I can do is say, and session title has. So at some point, there is Azure Data Explorer. So now if I run this, here we can see all of the sessions, or at least 10 of them, which have the words Azure Data Explorer in them. Let's go back to the entirety of the table. How many different sessions are there for each conference? Well, I can find out by using summarize. So summarize, so I'm going to call this new column number of sessions equals count, open bracket, close bracket, by conference. So if I run this, then you can see the computer is counting the number of rows for each conference, and therefore is giving me two columns, conference and number of sessions. You can also use sum, SUMIF, AVG for average, max, min, maxif, and so on. And finally, let's say I wanted another column which has the number of sessions multiplied by 60. Let's say each of these were 60 minutes, and I wanted to know the number of minutes. Well, I can extend what I currently have. So I could say number of minutes equals number of sessions times 60. And here we can see the number of minutes that all of these sessions would be. Now, one final tip. Suppose that you're coming from an SQL environment and you know how to write SQL, but you're going, I want to know how I can write my SQL query in KQL. So let's say I've got a query which is select conference and level from conference sessions. So that is my query. How can I convert that into KQL? Well, you can do that by having two hyphens and then the word explain. So if I run this, then here you can see my query. Conference sessions, pipe, project, conference, comma, level. So what I can do is copy that, and there is my KQL query. So in this video, we've had a look at the basics of how to use KQL. We've looked at how we can get the data source, we can project columns, so removing other columns, we can extend, adding calculations and assigning them to columns, we can take or limit or sample some data, so we're not looking at the entirety of the rows. We can use distinct to just get one column or multiple columns and remove duplicates. And we can use sort by or order by to order the data. Now, another place where knowledge of KQL is needed is in Microsoft's DP600 and DP700 exams, the Fabric Analytics and Fabric Data Engineer Associate. Now, you need a bit more than this for those exams. So if you'd like to know more about KQL, then please join us in our courses. If you go to idodata.com and go to Fabric, you will see our exam preparation courses for the DP600 and DP700 exams. These start at the very beginning and go through all of the requirements of these exams. This includes a lot more about how to create KQL. So for more information, please go to our website. And for more information about Microsoft Data Days, please go to aka.ms/datadays. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please give it a like. And why not subscribe and click that bell? That way you'll be notified of any new videos. If you'd like more information about the DP700 exam, then please click on the link on the end screen. Well, thank you for joining me. I'm Philip Burton of idodata.com. Thanks for watching and keep learning.